Maybe it's better if you skip Mom's birthday. You're too poor. My sister said, sure, and I nodded while reversing my $6,000 payment. That evening, they arrived at the venue. My name glowed on the restaurant front. Welcome to my place, I said. And your table? Canceled. Maybe it's better if you skip Mom's birthday this year. You're too poor, my sister said, not even blinking. I laughed. I actually laughed because I thought it was a joke. Come again? I asked, setting down my coffee. You know what I mean? She said, flipping her hair like we were in a shampoo commercial. It's a high-end place. Classy. No offense. But showing up in your thrift store blazer might kill the vibe. Oh, no offense at all, I said, my voice dry as dust. She leaned back on Mom's couch, stretching her legs like she owned the house, which, to be fair, she kind of did. Everything was always hers. Attention, gifts, money, praise. I just existed to make her look better by comparison. Honestly, she continued, it's just easier if you don't come. No hard feelings. You can just, send something. I was sending something, I said slowly. $6,000, actually, to cover half the dinner. Her face twitched for half a second. That tiny panic people get when they realize they may have messed up. I smiled, took out my phone, tap, cancel transfer. She didn't even notice. Cool, I said, no problem. That evening, I put on my best shirt, not that they'd notice, and headed to the restaurant an hour before the classy birthday dinner. Not as a guest, not this time. At 7:10 sharp, they showed up. My sister in designer heels, Mom in pearls, Dad in that suit he only wears when cameras are around. They strutted through the doors like they were royalty. Then they saw me. My sister froze. What are you doing here? I smiled, leaned against the polished host stand, and gestured toward the entrance sign, golden letters above the glass. Harris Modern Bistro, my last name, my lights. I'm working, I said simply. Well, owning. Mom squinted. Wait, this is yours? My sister's laugh cracked in her throat. You bought this place? Mrs. No, I said. I built it. The host appeared beside me. Ms. Harris, the private room is ready. Shall I seat your guests? I turned to them. That won't be necessary. Their expressions twisted. What? My sister blinked. We have a reservation. I nodded. Had. It's canceled. What do you mean canceled? Mom snapped. I mean, and follow closely. There is no table. Not anymore. My sister's face turned red. You're joking. Dead serious. She stormed up to me, heels clacking like gunfire. You can't just... I can, I said. You told me not to come. I'm just following your advice. Then I stepped aside and gestured toward the exit. Classy enough for you now? I didn't go home that night. I didn't feel like sitting in silence, waiting for the messages to start pouring in. Instead, I took a walk downtown. Just me and the streetlights. I ended up at an all-night diner I used to go to in college. The kind of place that doesn't ask questions when you order pancakes at 2 a.m. and look like you just burned down your life. The next morning, my phone lit up like Times Square. Mom, 9:07 a.m. What was that? Dad, 9:12 a.m. You embarrassed your sister in front of everyone. She was crying all night. My sister, 10:02 a.m. You're unbelievable. We're done. And the cherry on top. Mom, 10:04 a.m. You need to apologize. You ruined her birthday. I stared at the screen for a good minute, then put the phone face down. No one asked why I did it. No one asked what led to it. They just knew their golden girl had been humiliated, and that couldn't be allowed. By Monday, I was uninvited from the family group chat. Real subtle. Tuesday, Mom called. I didn't pick up. She left a voicemail. I just think it's sad that you let jealousy get in the way of family. Your sister's doing well, and instead of being happy for her, you act out like a child. You're better than this. At least I thought you were. Jealousy. They really believed that's what this was about. I wasn't angry. I was tired. Exhausted, honestly, because this wasn't new. This had been going on for years. You're always the reliable one, Mom used to say, back when I was still useful. That's what it started as. Small things. Picking up groceries. Co-signing a loan just to help her get approved. Paying for Dad's new tires because money's tight right now. Every favor added up. Quietly, slowly, until one day I looked at my budget and realized I was funding 2 households, mine and theirs. When I brought it up, Dad laughed. You're single. You don't have kids. What else are you spending money on? Then came the real gut punch. A call from my bank. Ms. Harris, we need to verify a recent change of address on your premium card ending in 8832. I don't have a premium card. Silence. Then paper shuffled. It was opened under your name 3 weeks ago. Address listed as 41 Briar Lane. That was my parents' house. I drove over. I didn't knock. I just walked in. They were in the kitchen, calm as ever. "Hey, honey," Mom said, not even looking up. "We weren't expecting you." "I noticed," I said. "You opened a credit card under my name?" The silence that followed was deafening. "What are you talking about?" Dad asked. I pulled out the letter and dropped it on the table. Mom's face twitched just for a second. Then she sighed. "It's not what you think." "Really? Because I think it's fraud." Dad scoffed. "Don't be dramatic. It's not like we were using it for fun." "Who's we?" No one answered. I turned to my sister, who was suddenly very interested in her nails. "You?" She shrugged. "I needed to book the venue. I didn't think it would be a big deal." "Didn't think? Are you insane?" "It's just temporary," she snapped. "You've got money. Stop acting like a victim." "Victim," I repeated. "You steal my name, run up debt, shut me out of the dinner I paid for, and I'm the problem?" Mom stepped in, her voice cool. "Lower your voice." "Why? Afraid the neighbors will hear what perfect little Laya did?" "She was under pressure," Mom said sharply. "And honestly, you were kind of cold the other night." I stared at them. These people, my family, acting like I should be apologizing for being robbed. And that's when it hit me. They didn't see me as family. They saw me as a wallet with legs. I left without another word. That night, I checked my credit report. Not one new account. Not two. Three. One of them had a balance of nearly $8,000, charged at wedding boutiques, restaurants, and one luxury spa experience 2 towns over. Every charge dated before the birthday dinner. They had the audacity to call me poor while using my name to live rich. That's when something inside me snapped. Not in rage, in clarity. They wanted a war. They had no idea what I had planned. I waited for the perfect moment. And that moment was Grandma's Sunday brunch. The one family gathering where no one could say no. Cousins, uncles, even the family friends that were practically relatives. They'd all be there. I showed up 15 minutes early, sat at the long oak table with a quiet smile. Everyone greeted me like I hadn't just been publicly disowned the week before. Fake hugs, tight smiles. One of my cousins actually patted me on the back and said, "You doing okay, girl?" "I'm great," I said. "Really great." They had no idea. My sister waltzed in 20 minutes late, of course. Designer dress, big sunglasses, hair like she was headed to a gala. She didn't even look at me, just made a show of hugging everyone except me. Mom followed her, gripping a tray of baked ziti like it was a peace offering. Dad shuffled behind, avoiding my eyes. "Okay," Grandma clapped her hands. "Let's eat." I let them fill their plates, laugh, make toasts, pretend like nothing had happened. I let them get comfortable, and then I stood. I have something to say. Every fork froze midair. All eyes turned to me. I reached into my bag and pulled out a small stack of folders. Nice, neat, labeled. One by one, I placed them on the table. Here are the 3 credit card accounts opened in my name in the last 2 months. Total balance across them, $13,412. Mom's face drained of color. My sister stopped chewing. "Here's the kicker," I continued. "All 3 were opened using my social security number, but with my parents' home address. Interesting, right?" A few people shifted in their chairs. "Now, if anyone's curious, here's a breakdown of the charges," I said, pulling out printed statements. Venue bookings, spa days, designer clothing, luxuries. I slid a paper toward my sister. "Lumari Bridal and Events. That's your name right there on the booking." She swallowed. "That's not... You're twisting this." I turned to the table. "I'd love to hear how I'm twisting fraud." Mom stood up suddenly. "Okay, that's enough. You're humiliating us." "Oh, we're just getting started," I said. I reached into the bag one last time and pulled out a folder marked Affidavit. Identity Theft Complaint. "That," I said, placing it in the center of the table, "is the legal report I filed last week. I gave you a chance to explain. You gave me silence." My father finally spoke, voice tight. "You would report your own family to the police?" I looked at him, calm. "You used my name. You took my credit. You banned me from Mom's birthday and called me a loser. At what point was I still part of this family?" My sister shot to her feet. "You're being unfair. You're making a scene." I tilted my head. "Funny. That's what you said when you told me not to come. Except now I own the room." She lunged toward the table, grabbed the folder, tried to crumple it, but I snatched it back. "Try again, and I'll make copies for everyone here," I said, holding her gaze. "Better yet, I'll post it." She stood there shaking, furious, cornered. I turned to Grandma. "You've always been the only one who treated me like a person," I said quietly. "But the rest, they saw me as an ATM." Grandma looked like she might cry. And then the twist came, not from me, From the back of the room, someone cleared their throat. Kevin, my sister's ex. Actually, he said, stepping forward, I'd like to add something. My sister's head whipped toward him. Kevin, no! You want to talk about fraud? Kevin said, raising his voice. Ask her where the down payment for our condo went. Silence. She told me her job covered it, he continued. Turns out she used my card. He pointed at me and mine. And you know what else? He held up his phone and played a voicemail. Kevin, don't be mad, but I might have moved some stuff around. It's not a big deal. I just needed a little help for the family dinner. He'll never notice. My sister went white. Kevin looked at me. Sorry I didn't say anything sooner. I thought she was just stressed. Turns out she's just a liar. And with that, he walked out. So did 2 cousins, then my aunt. Even Uncle Mitch, the man who once called me soft for buying birthday gifts instead of booze, looked shaken. My sister slumped into a chair, stunned. My mother sat frozen. My dad muttered, You've always been difficult. But it landed like a whisper against a wall. I grabbed my bag. I'm done, I said. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't ask me for one more thing. Then I walked out, and this time no one stopped me. 3 days of silence. No fake apologies. No fake love. No fake family. It was the quietest my phone had ever been. I thought I'd feel relieved. I did, but I also felt something else. Anger. Not the loud kind. Not the kind that burns. The cold kind. The one that settles into your bones and makes you see everything for what it is. On the 4th day, the phone buzzed. Mom, enough, Jessica. You've made your little statement. Now come back to your senses. We're family. Family. That word again. The same one they always pulled out like a weapon. Sharp. Manipulative. Hollow. An hour later, Dad, she's your sister. You humiliated her. You don't come back from that. Good, I thought. I don't want to. Then the real kicker, Laya, my sister. I hope you're proud. You destroyed Mom. You'll regret this. I didn't reply, not to a single one. I wasn't the problem. I was the wake-up call. That weekend, I drove out of town. No destination. Just air, space, and time without guilt. I turned off my phone, left it in the glove box, and blasted old music I used to love before my life became a charity project. I slept at a motel that smelled like old wood and freedom. I bought pancakes and coffee the next morning and ate slowly, like I had nowhere to be. Because I didn't. For once, no one needed me. It was beautiful. Then on Monday, the twist came. I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I almost declined it, but something made me swipe answer. Hello? A pause. Then a man's voice, cautious, tired. Is this Jessica Harris? Yes, who's this? My name's Andrew Talbot. You don't know me, but I think we have something in common. He sounded like someone who'd been dragged through hell and barely made it out. Did your sister ever live in Denver? I sat up. Yeah, about 4 years ago. Then I need to talk to you. We spoke for 2 hours. Andrew had dated my sister briefly, months before her big, fresh start back home. They'd split up after she borrowed his credit card and racked up over $3,000 in luxury salon treatments and electronics. When he confronted her, she cried, blamed him for making her feel insecure, then ghosted. He never pressed charges. She promised she'd pay him back. She never did. She changed cities instead, and names. Turns out she'd briefly started going by Laya Preston, her middle name and Mom's maiden name. A new persona, a cleaner slate. And I wasn't the first one she dragged into financial messes under that alias. Andrew found me after a friend sent him a screenshot of my story. It had made rounds on social media. Someone from the brunch had posted about it anonymously. Brother exposes sister for using his name to fund a family party. The post went viral in one corner of Reddit. He recognized her instantly. I thought I was the fool, he told me. Turns out I was just first, and now I was last, because I wasn't going to let her do it again. The next morning, I called my lawyer and asked him to amend my report. I've got a witness, I said. In a pattern, he whistled. This changes everything. Then I called Andrew back and thanked him sincerely. You didn't deserve what she did to you, I said. He paused, then said something I'll never forget. Neither did you, but you did what I was too scared to. You stopped her. Later that week, I checked my email. One unread message. Subject line, Leia, please. I opened it. You've ruined me. I lost my job. My boyfriend dumped me. I'm living in Mom's basement. I have nothing. I hope that makes you feel powerful. I didn't even finish the rest. I just hit archive. No, it didn't make me feel powerful. It made me feel free. For the first time in years, I wasn't someone's safety net. I wasn't a financial cushion. I wasn't a silent supporter in someone else's performance. I was a person with boundaries and a name they'd never use again. It's been 3 months. 3 months since I walked out of Grandma's brunch and burned the last of the bridges that had been dragging me under. 3 months since the lawsuit collapsed. The threat stopped and the begging started, because that's what came next. Begging. First it was silence, then guilt, then fake concern. Now it was bargaining. Last week, Mom called. I didn't answer, so she left a voicemail. We miss you. I know things got out of hand, but this has gone far enough. You've proven your point. Come home. Come home. As if I ever truly belonged there. The new apartment is small, but it's mine. Everything inside it is mine, too. The furniture, the dishes, the air. Nobody calls me from the living room to pitch in for groceries after insulting me. No one tells me what I owe them just for existing. I sleep better. I eat slower. I laugh without checking who's watching. It's like I finally started living at 31, because everything before this, that wasn't a life. That was a performance. And I was the background character, no more. Then last Saturday, I got a knock at my door. I almost didn't answer, but something told me to open it. Standing there, in her usual designer coat, hair perfectly curled, like a mask to hide the rod underneath, was Mom. Behind her, arms folded like always, Dad. My stomach didn't twist. My hands didn't shake. That surprised me. I just looked at them and waited. Mom smiled. That same fake polished smile she used at church, in front of neighbors, or when she was about to emotionally disembowel you. We just want to talk, she said. No, I said. You want me to forget? She blinked. Dad spoke. We raised you. You owe us at least a conversation. I laughed, sharp, cold, unapologetic. You raised me? No. You raised my sister to think the world owes her everything, and raised me to clean up her mess. You're twisting things. Mom said quickly, we made mistakes. You committed fraud. I snapped. Don't dress it up with therapy words. Silence. I stepped into the hallway and shut the door behind me. If they wanted drama, they weren't getting it in my space. You said I humiliated the family, I said. But you had no problem humiliating me for years, telling people I was a failure while spending my money behind my back, laughing at me, using me. Mom's smile cracked. I've forgiven Leia, she said carefully, like that was the magic spell. I haven't, I said. She's your sister, Dad growled. No, I said. She's a con artist with a Chanel addiction, and if you're still covering for her, that means you haven't learned a thing. Dad stepped forward. You need to grow up and get over this. You're being selfish. I almost laughed again. You stole my name, my credit, my money, my dignity, and now you want to call me selfish? He opened his mouth. I beat him to it. I have grown up, I said. That's the problem. I finally grew up and realized I don't owe this family anything but a warning. A warning? Mom echoed. Yes, I leaned in. I'm not the quiet, guilty, overgiving daughter anymore. I'm the woman who knows how to fight back. You come for me again, I'll burn the whole illusion you've built. And this time, I'll make this public if I have to. Their faces fell. I nodded once. Goodbye. Then I walked back inside and locked the door. That night, I pulled out an old box from my closet. Inside, photos, letters, birthday cards, little scraps of guilt. I took them all to the balcony, tossed them in a steel bowl, and lit a match. It was beautiful. One by one, their faces curled in flame and turned ash. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I just watched them burn. The next morning, I got an email from an old coworker. A job offer, not a handout, not a favor for the family's golden child. Just someone who'd seen my work and respected it. I said yes. That night, I went to dinner with people who didn't know my history, who didn't expect anything from me but my presence. We laughed. I paid for my own meal. No one hinted I should cover theirs. When I got home, I sat on the floor and exhaled. Freedom, it turns out, isn't allowed. It's quiet still. Whole. Then came one last twist. A letter. No stamp, no return address. Just slipped under my door. I opened it with one finger, already bracing myself for bile. But inside was a check. $13,412. The exact amount stolen from me. A sticky note was attached. One sentence written in shaky handwriting. She finally confessed. We had no choice. Dad, no apology, no warmth, just damage control. I took the check, folded it once, and slid it through my shredder. I didn't want their money. I didn't need it. They couldn't buy their way back in. Not this time. For the first time in my life, I belonged to no one but myself.